It is 5:30 and we will call the meeting to order. We would like to amend the agenda by removing 8N and 12E. May I have a motion to approve as amended?
Hold on, 8N.
Okay.
Wait, 8N and what? 12
Oh,
what?
sorry, slow down. That's right, it does say amend. Okay, so with the agenda, we'd like to amend 8N. It's not an overnight camp, it's a day camp. And then we'd like to remove 12E. Okay, may I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4 with 1 absence. And I would like the record to reflect that trustee Nelson is absent tonight. Okay, and with that, we will move to closed session. And with that, I'd just like to remind us of our mission. Our mission is achieving excellence by nurturing a love of learning, a district where students are welcomed, valued, engaged, and excited about learning. Students graduate with excellence in critical thinking, a love of learning, and are prepared to move successfully in the world and life. Every staff member working as a team helps to create a community of continuous learning, equity, and opportunity for all. Our vision is a welcoming community that inspires possibilities, connects people, and ignites learning. And with that, there's no report from the closed session, so we'll move to our flag salute, and I'd like to welcome Michael Nelson and Ben Coyle to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Remove your hats and please place your right hand over your heart, and will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? And face the flag. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Students, I forgot to tell you that ahead of time. Okay, we're going to, I'm sorry. Item 6A will be at the latter part of that agenda. Someone is stuck in traffic, so we'll move. Oh, she's here. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so introduction of Director of Special Ed.
Come on over. Okay.
Hey.
Yay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Board of Trustees and audience, we are excited to welcome Kristen Hoff as our new Director of Special Education for the Cotati Roanoke Park Unified School District. Kristen brings a deep passion for supporting students, families. Thank you, Superintendent. Families and educators, along with a wealth of experience in special education and student services. Most recently, she served as program coordinator and program manager for the Petaluma City Schools Special Services Department, Special Education Department, where she played a key role in shaping and supporting special education programs across the district. Her professional background includes serving as a teacher, non-public school director, and regional director, as well as working with at-risk youth in residential treatment settings. These roles have provided her with a strong foundation in individualized student support, interagency collaboration, and inclusive education practices. Kristen holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, a special education teaching credential, an administrative credential, and a master's degree in special education. She enjoys spending her free time gardening at home, where she lives with her husband, their child, 2 cats, and a dog. Cheers to that. She is committed to fostering strong, trusting relationships with students, families, and staff in the community, and believes that collaboration is the key to ensuring positive outcomes for all learners. Quotes our new Director of Special Education. I truly love the work I do, and I'm honored to join this community in continuing the important work of supporting every student's success. And I just want to do a little shout out to her support team out here. I know Molly Nagel was here, and oh, she's over there. Oh, videotaping. Sarah Schaefer and Dana Panta. I always say it wrong. Okay, I got it right that time. Special education is a small, tight community, and what I love is that her cheerleaders are here, and we have the support of our community, and of course, those who interviewed her. We had a very, very rigorous process. We had many educators involved, and it's just fantastic when everything works out the way we want it to work out. So we welcome Kristen to our district, and if you'd like to say a few words, feel free.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm Kristen. Nice to meet you. I'm really happy to be here. I have served in special education, or the field of special education, for about 25 years. Kind of shocking to say it like that, in the last 10 years within a special services department. I've always held a professional goal and aspiration to uphold students' right to free and appropriate public education. I'm excited to join the team. It's about relationships, and that's what means so much to me. I look forward to building those relationships. I look forward to doing the work together to see every student have an experience that includes an inclusive and equitable education. And really, I know there's great things being done in this district. I feel fortunate to be a part of it and get that chance to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
Welcome aboard.
This is for you. And we also have a guest speaker to say a few words, so. Who happens to have a daughter who's on the dais here with us, so.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Aturi, and Cabinet. My name is Sarah Schaefer, and I'm a community member, former site principal here in Cotati Roanoke Park, a parent of a graduate of Tech High, and a current Rancho Cotati High School senior. I'm here tonight, though, in my capacity as Director of Special Services for Petaluma City Schools. I'm here to talk to you about your new Director of Special Education, Kristen Hoff. While I'm sad to see her leave Petaluma, I wanted to present to you the top 10 most important things that you should know and what I have learned about Kristen. Number 10,
I'm crying already.
her passion is contagious. Consider this a fair warning that spending too much time with her may result in suddenly caring way too much about IEP meetings. Number 9, she is the ultimate teammate, the one you want in your corner when things get complicated. She knows how to have your back and will also be the one to make you laugh about it later. Number 8, she's a problem-solving ninja. She'll find a creative way to make things happen for kids before most people finish their morning coffee. Number 7, a passionate ranter, the good kind. When something matters, she'll talk about it, circle back to it, and drill it in until everyone understands why it's important. And honestly, we're better for it. Number 6, her sense of humor is both sharp and perfectly timed. Be prepared to laugh, even in the middle of a tough meeting. Number 5, she's a bridge builder. Parents, teachers, administrators alike trust her because she genuinely listens and knows how to bring people together. Number 4, she's fiercely protective of students and has a radar for inequity. She will fight for them like they are her own, and if something even smells like it's not in the best interest of kids, she'll call it out and fix it. Number 3, she can make special education law sound like common sense, and that's a rare and beautiful gift. Number 2, she elevates everyone around her. Her presence makes a team stronger, sharper, and braver. And number 1, she leads with heart. Every decision, every late night email, every ounce of energy she pours into the work is grounded in what's best for kids, and that's exactly what you're getting in her. While I can go on and on with many more, I'll leave it at that. Kristen, congratulations on this new position. I have no doubt you will be a rock star here in Cotati Roanoke Park. You will be sorely missed in Petaluma City Schools, but I couldn't be happier.
Welcome aboard. Okay, next up, item 6A, Sonoma State University.
Good evening to the board. Thank you so much for this invitation, and thank you so much, Superintendent Ituri, for inviting me here to share some of these wonderful things that are happening with Cotati Roanoke Park and Sonoma State University. And please excuse me, I am going to start the slideshow. There we go, perfect. So my name is Suzanne DeCourcy. I'm the education manager for SSU's Center for Environmental Inquiry. And you might notice that the date on this presentation says May of 2025, and it's not because I'm just confused about what month it is. It's that we share what we do based on the Federated Indians of Great Rancheria allocation that comes to the Center for Environmental Inquiry through CRPUSD. At the end of every academic year. And so I was fortunate to meet with Dr. Ituri, and she invited me to come and also speak with the board to share about some of the wonderful things that are happening here, or rather there. What we do is we basically take this allocation and we train our own SSU student naturalists and community members in ecology, human history, and outdoor education. And basically, they lead tours for your 3rd through 5th graders on SSU's Fairfield Osborne Preserve. And if you haven't had a chance to get up to the Osborne Preserve, there are many opportunities for you to do so. I highly recommend it. I'm actually I came into this position because I knew how powerful these experiences could be to everybody, really, but especially 3rd through 5th graders. These outdoor experiences are linked to increases in cognition. They're linked to better social, emotional, physical, and mental health. And they're linked to prosocial development and behavior. One of the things that I really love about our program is that there's this strong connection between our SSU students and our community members, our researchers, and with higher education in general, with the 3rd through 5th graders who are able to visit the preserve. And some of you, if any of you have been to the Osborne Preserve recently, you know that we also have a brand new Federated Indians of Great Rancheria Learning Center, which was also made possible through the generosity of the tribe, and we are able to bring the students into that space as well. So these trained naturalists lead the 3rd through 5th graders on their tours, and they make a strong connection with the local environment, the curriculum that you use here at CRPUSD, and Federated Indians of Great Rancheria Learning Center interpretation that we are in the process of working on with the tribe. Last academic year, we also piloted a Spanish language Saturday tour. And I'm happy to report that we found a donor who's going to make it possible to expand that. So we're going to have additional Spanish language tours for CRPUSD families, in addition to Spanish language tours for some of the visiting Cotati Roanoke Park classes. And in fact, one of your teachers, Craig Stone, and his colleagues is going to get one. He doesn't know it yet. So I'll be happy to report that to him. This began in fall of 2019, went through COVID, so we had some challenges there, but we pivoted to some virtual programs that we were able to provide. But from the fall of 2019 through the spring of 2025, we have been able to serve almost 3,000 3rd through 5th grade students in person at the Osborne Preserve. And you can see a list of schools there who have been able to send their students to the preserve. And this is my favorite part. So those are all the numbers, and then here are some of the examples of of just the joy and that, again, that connection to learning that the children receive. We work with many of the teachers to add a writing component. So basically, after their field trip, the students write and share what they experienced with their naturalists. And of course, I'm not expecting you to read all of this, but I'd like to point out a couple of things. I really enjoyed that the students do sometimes talk about challenges and persevering, but they talk about the empowerment that they feel and being able to overcome those challenges. Let's see, I forgot about this. I think you are really nice people. I also want to point out that this is common. I was never, ever once bored on the hike. Some of the students report that they've never had an experience before like this, but both with the support and from our trained naturalists, and then the connection that we help them make to their experiences with their curriculum down at CRPOSD and experiences they may have with their families, they're really able to connect with this place and also, like I said, overcome challenges that they might be experiencing. We also sometimes get letters from teachers, and here is Mr. Pena writing about his experiences. Also a student who drew a picture of her delightedly striding across Copeland Creek after learning about the creatures that live in the creek and how that's connected to creeks down here in Rohnert Park and Katahdin. So I pulled out some of these responses. Just the fact that students can go somewhere and feel calm. So this is learning, but it is the most fun learning possible. Sense of belonging, sense of peacefulness, sense of connection to the earth, to nature, to themselves. Students also, because we do make these connections with our own SSU students, research that's happening on the Osborne Preserve and the university itself. The Osborne Preserve is part of SSU. They'll sometimes report, I want to go to college now. That was actually a bit of I don't want to say a surprise, but when I first came here 15 years ago, I asked teachers, I said, you can go elsewhere. Why do you choose to come to the Osborne Preserve? And a lot of them report that their students all of a sudden see college as not this big scary thing, because now they know someone. They've made this connection with their own naturalist leader, and many of them might be first-time college students, first-generation college students. The connection with science, with wanting to explore more, seeing themselves as scientists, not that it's something that they couldn't possibly do because it's something that people do that don't look like them or that no one in their family has ever done before. We also hear from the adults. So I pulled out one of the quotes from the letter from Mr. Pena about how the students are still talking about their visit and they're looking forward to visiting. He's looking forward to visiting with next year's students. And just more quotes about retired teachers and our community member naturalists really loving the way that our SSU naturalists work with the kids. And then one of my favorite quotes, my least favorite part of the day is having to leave, is what one student participant said. And there's a picture of children being very happy that they've reached the highest point of the preserve. And with regard to continuing opportunities and next steps, as I mentioned, we have secured funding to, like I said, have more Spanish language tours. We also, this is something that your teachers may not know, but we offer our community member naturalist training, our Naturalist Educator Series training to all CRP credentialed teachers free of charge. And we have worked with this district and other partners like the Laguna de Santa Rosa Foundation on grants that we had been working on a Be Wet grant that has concluded, but we're always excited to provide support and work with the district on additional grants. so I know I threw a bit at you, but I'm excited to get a chance to share this with you, and I have my contact information here, and am always happy to answer questions or to connect personally if anyone has any other questions or anything they want to share with us. Thank you very
for the
much.
presentation. Any questions?
Federated Indians of Great and Rancheria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so please excuse me, I didn't write it out on the slides, but I was trying to put it into the verbal part of the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Is with Sonoma State's funding crisis, is the preserved, or is there any risk to some of the funding and the programs that you guys are doing?
With the caveat that none of us exactly can predict the future,
Right.
I'd be very rich if I could do that. Then no, we're not at this point anticipating anything, and in fact, we are, we're moving forward with lots of things we're very excited about.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for being here. I just thought it was really important that we could see how all our community partners are coming together on this, our school district, the tribe, and Sonoma State, and that this is really utilizing all the resources in our community. So thank you for being here and presenting this, and I'm so excited that the kids get to go and experience that.
Thank you very much, Superintendent, and thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Evergreen Elementary presentation.
Hello, everybody. Close out of this one. Good evening. I'm Maya Nava. I'm the principal at Evergreen Elementary School, and I'm here to present to you all tonight about our creating a welcoming school environment with PBIS at Evergreen. I'm the lucky first one to present. And we're about a month into school, and so I figured I would talk about what we spend majority of our day doing, which is really trying to put in place all the pieces necessary for kids to feel welcome coming to school, to feel safe coming to school, and feel ready to learn. All right, so a little bit about Evergreen. We're about 615 students this year. We've got 24 gen ed teachers. We have about 5 ed specialists, which includes 3 special day classes, 2 for students with more moderate severe disabilities, and 1 is our counseling enriched program. We are up to about 27 paraprofessionals all around the school, and we have 3 of our instructional aides. We have a fabulous student support advisor. We have a campus supervisor, a school psychologist, a counselor for students with IEPs. So we've got a lot of staff. We're rocking and rolling, and a lot of moving parts to make our school run efficiently. So what is PBIS? PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. And it's a framework, really, right? We look at what are our school-wide and classroom-wide procedures and pieces that we put in place for supports to really hit about 80% of students. And then we look at Tier 2, and we look again at Tier 3 as students need more of that support. But I'm going to talk a lot about Tier 1 tonight. So like I said, it's a framework. It's basically everything that we need in order to create a positive school environment and really have a school run efficiently. So teaching positive behavioral expectations and procedures. I always say that the Evergreen expectations are a kid-friendly version of our ed code, right, of how we want to make sure that we're teaching kids how to be appropriate humans and interact with one another. We use positive reinforcement for all students. We do have consistent consequences, or I say boundaries, when it comes to different types of behaviors. And we do a lot of creative things for alternatives to suspension. We have effective procedures in and out of the classroom, and we have a bullying prevention program that we have as well. So these are our expectations. A lot of schools will have be safe, respectful, responsible. Evergreen had a pretty robust team prior to my time starting at Evergreen, and they decided on make good decisions, show respect to others and yourself, and solve problems. I love these expectations because they actually align with BGLAD, which is one of our EL trainings as well. So it working with students with our English language learners. So I like them a lot. So along with these expectations, we have a matrix, which makes sure that we are really defining what these expectations are in all the areas of our school. And we teach the students this, and this is what we've been doing really intensely for the last month, and it's paying off. So we give out what's called Bobcat Bucks. The students, we have a collective agreement with staff that all teachers have different classroom management styles, right? They might give out their own little tickets and rewards, different Dowker dollars, things like that. But we have a collective agreement that the Bobcat Bucks and whatever school classroom incentive system teachers have the same weight. So if you get an expectation ticket that's a Bobcat Buck, you can turn it into your classroom teacher for a type of incentive, or you can turn it into the office, which you see a picture there. We have a little basket by grade level where the kids put in tickets, and we do daily drawings. And it can be anything from a tangible reward to something that is more community-based. So being able to change the cone system, we have a cone system, which I'll explain in a second, but being able to change the cones at lunch is something that the kids like. Being somebody that can come actually announce over the loudspeaker the names of kids, having lunch with the principal, stuff like that. So not just tangible rewards of pencils and things like that, but also other things that get the kiddos involved in our community. We definitely, when we give these out, we train all of our staff, including our yard duties, to really give specific praise. So thank you so much for making a good decision and throwing your food away in the compost and your trash in the appropriate trash cans. Or thank you so much for showing respect by keeping your voice level at a 1 or a 2 in the lunchroom, things like that. So the purpose of PBIS is proactive teaching, right? We want to be able to teach our students how to be effective humans at school. And with 615 kids, we all need to be working on teaching those expectations so that we can run a school efficiently. But we definitely work on showing how to do those behaviors. So if when kiddos make mistakes, we want them to show us how to do it, not just tell us. We demonstrate sometimes the wrong way to do it and then have the kids demonstrate the right way. We build in tons of opportunities for kiddos to practice. A lot of our corrective feedback on the playground is, oops, I saw you going backwards down the slide. What's the expectation? Yes, that we face forward. All right, go show me. I know you can do it. Great job. Here's an expectation ticket for doing it the right way. And then I'm gonna watch you do it a couple more times, things like that. Really providing that immediate feedback and affirming feedback. You lined up quickly and quietly. Awesome job. Thank you so much for walking in the hallways, things like that. Our teachers have been practicing these routines all year long. Since the beginning of the school year, we have a kickoff activity where we do a PBS passport, and the teachers and classes visit each area of our campus. And once they feel like they've mastered those expectations on the matrix, they get a passport stamp, and they turn it into the office for a prize. We have bracelets to show the evergreen expectations, which are on bracelets, and then we have lanyards for teachers. So here's a couple examples of what it looks like at Evergreen. One of the things we did new this year is we zoned our playground. So that's one of the pictures that you see. We labeled it, named it, created this visual, showed it to kids. We walked the boundaries. We showed them what they were. And we have systematic supervision training that we've done briefly with teachers that we'll do more of, that we're doing with yard duties. And we're making sure that we have effective supervision in each zone. One of the things that we had an issue with last year was a lot of behavior at recess and lunch. That was what our PBIS data, our referral data was showing. And so we really wanted to tighten in our zones and make sure that we had effective supervision in all of those areas. We have signage all over campus. We have it, you can see some of the signs there. That's one of the examples in the office. We have what's called the solution wheel, and all of our teachers wear lanyards that have both the solution wheel and actually restorative questions on the back so that we can use it as a third point reference for kids and a visual for them to see. There's an example of the passport. We build in restorative practices, which includes community circles, so really building that community. So we have collective agreements on what our guidelines are gonna be, so just being consistent with everybody saying the same language when it comes to our circle guidelines. We all have the same voice level posters in each room. And then what you see there is our cone system. That's how students know what to do at recess and at lunch. We got this from our Laura Muiman trainings that we've all been trained on throughout the year in last year. And this was a great system. We can have one yard duty supervising all of second grade lunch, which is about, I think, 86 kids, I think, in second grade, 96 kids. And they're able to follow the rules with just a color-coded system. Today was a rainy day. We had to do this in the MU, so it was myself and I think maybe one other yard duty. I put this up on the big screen, and we were able to effectively supervise about 286 kids in the MU with both of us. It's not ideal. We were down people today, but we like to have more. But with the color-coded system, the kids are really catching on. They'll say, oh, hey, it's yellow, you can't get up yet, or it's red, or hey, it's green, it's time to go, we can go play, go throw your stuff away, things like that. So very cool color-coded system that works really well with kids. Thank you, Laura Muiman. So this is our behavior flow chart. This is when kids, we work with kids. They make mistakes. They're not always going to follow the expectations. Our job is to teach them how to do that. But we know they're going to make mistakes, and so we have a flow chart that helps teachers know what they should manage in the classroom, what yard duty can manage out on the recess yard, and then what ends up being admin managed. We also have a very strict radio protocol, so we have 3 different channels that we utilize to communicate the supports that are needed and where. Our student support advisor is very busy. Our campus supervisor is very busy. My assistant principal and I are always very busy. We have a flow chart on who gets called and when, and a schedule so that we can rotate through and really try to reach all the needs. Let's see. Here's some of our pictures of us kind of doing the things. This is a picture of our student support advisor running a restorative chat in front of one of our kindergarten rooms. So the teachers will radio us and we'll go to the classroom. Our job is to try to keep kids in class as much as possible versus having them stay out of class. So they come in, you can see the restorative questions, the effective statement posters that we have. We have a sensory room, which is a game changer this year. So it's a place where kiddos can go when they are feeling like they need to either have a soft start coming into school or they need a break. We also have study carrels in there, so if they need a little bit of a quiet time to do a work or a test, our student support advisor can take them into that room, get their wiggles out, they set a timer, we have a routine for it, and then they're able to go back into class feeling regulated. One of the posters you see there is one of our other means of correction. We had some kiddos that were having a hard time at recess the other day, having their hands to themselves. After a long restorative circle with some second graders, I figured out it had to do with a tree and sharing a tree as base in a tag game. So we made posters that the tree is for everyone and we're gonna have our hands to ourselves. We colored them, we laminated them, and we stuck them on, we actually stapled them to the tree. And it was great. The kids did spend some of their recess time doing that with me. So there was a little bit of a natural consequence there. And I made sure they had all their allotted recess time, but then they were able to show all of their peers what it meant, and now they're kind of leaders on being hands to yourself and sharing the tree as a base for tag. We have a lot of different ways for teachers to communicate the needs. They have the radio, and we also have what we call a restorative recess ticket, so yard duties as well can write things up that happen at recess and lunch and give it to the teachers or give it to the office so that we can really follow through and close the loop. That was another issue that we really saw last year, was communication and being able to close the loop on communication, and we have a few new strategies this year to work on that. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling at Evergreen. We're doing a lot. We're taking a lot of data. We have a lot of radio calls, but we feel like we're running around with purpose instead of kind of running around with chaos, is what we say. And so things are going well, but busy. And any questions?
Any questions from the board? I'm curious, how long has the program been in place?
PBIS has been around for a while. So I want to say, as long as I've been here, we've adopted PBIS as a district. We've been doing trainings for PBIS and kind of recently, and restorative, but recently really worked on integrating them as a district, elementary-wide, middle school-wide, and I know the high school is on board now. So it's been a while, and it's really we're starting to see the fruits of our labor.
That's great. Any other
I
questions?
just have one question. So, with the color coding of like green means you can get up and yellow means you can't, are there other signals as well for the students that are colorblind?
Yes, we have. So red means that you're supposed to be sitting down and you can't throw your stuff away. It just helps everybody stay managed. And regardless, they raise their hand if they need anything. So they raise if they need a question, if they need water, if they need to go to the bathroom, if they're all done, if they need help. We kind of work on those hand signals so that I can, on a microphone, scan the room and kind of point to kids that need what they need. And if they don't understand the color system, they can raise their hand and ask. And we usually announce when it switches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would just suggest that maybe it's something in addition to colors, that there's something physical they can see.
Yeah.
So they don't have to call out that they can't see red.
Yeah.
or green.
Thank you.
And I like how you have consistency with every classroom. I think that's ideal, so the kids know what to expect, and it's the same thing. So consistency is huge. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're definitely working on that. We do have a lot of new teachers this year, so we're working on onboarding them. So when I say collective agreements, I would say we're working on that consistency, but yes, it's very important.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, 7A, Student Board Member Reports. Trustee Paniva. Are we going to have Trustee Fountain go first? Okay.
Good evening. I'm Sophia Paniva. I'm the Public Relations Officer at Technology High School, and today I'll be presenting what the first few months of the year have looked like at our school. So every year before school begins, Tech High hosts an event called Summer Bridge for any incoming freshmen or transfer students if they choose to attend. They are introduced to the Tech High culture by student volunteers called Bridge Leaders through a series of lessons and games. This year specifically, I saw so many amazing connections being made amongst the students, both within their grade and out. Bridge is usually a week-long event, with the first 4 days being used by Bridge Leaders to prepare and plan, and the last 3 being used to actually introduce the students. The first day of school was exciting amongst all grades. Students, although quite sad to see the summer end, came enthusiastic and prepared for the school year. There were several new teachers introduced to Tech High this year, along with new classes such as computer science, which was seen at Tech High previously but did not occur last year, and AP chemistry. Overall, the first day of school went great, and it did a great job for setting the tone for the rest of the year. Adding to the excitement of the beginning of school, fall sports have recently come into action. These include varsity boys and girls soccer, varsity boys and girls cross country, and varsity and JV girls volleyball. There have already been several games and meets, and Tech High is so proud of all their athletes. The first rally and spirit day of the year happened last Friday, and they were an absolute hit. Students dressed up in their best tropical attire and showed their Titan spirit. The lunch rally mainly centered around introducing the class representatives to the school by letting students pie them with whipped cream. Many students came to watch, and almost everyone wanted to be the next to pie a rep. I believe some of the students even got pied themselves. After school on that same day, we had the Tropical Back to School Mixer. It is the first event of the year, and we had some amazing turnout. Students from all grades came together to hang out, play games, and enjoy some delicious food. We had a range of activities, including lawn games, karaoke, and an all-time favorite, the volleyball tournament. This year, the prize for the winners of the tournament were digital cameras. Near the end of the mixer, we had a full circle and ended the day off with some more pieing. This time, teachers and ASB cabinet were the ones getting pied. The Wellness Center was something new that was introduced to Tech High this year. It is a sectioned off part of our student center dedicated solely to relaxation, mental health, and mindfulness. Students use the center as a place where they can wind down and take their mind off of anything that is causing them stress. The center offers several arts and craft stations, sitting areas, and relaxing activities such as the Sand Zen Gardens or fidget toys. Our most recent event was the parking spot painting that took place last Saturday and will continue throughout this weekend. Juniors and seniors had the chance to purchase a parking spot and keep it solely for their use throughout this year. There were so many different designs being made, and in my opinion, each one reflected the students perfectly, and I cannot wait to see the finished products this weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Trustee Fountain?
If it'll work. Sorry.
I'm Olivia Fountain, and I'm here to report what's been going on the past couple months at Rancho Cotati High School. So on our first day of school, we had a quad party. All the reps pass out paws with every student's name on them. And then this year we had something new where we had like rubber bracelets that were handed out with each class graduating, like their graduating class. So like class of 2026, class of 2027. So each student then got a bracelet with their class thing on it. And then we had Clubs Rush about 2 weeks after. Every semester we have this to try and show like to what every club's doing and try and get people to join the club. We had clubs like Book Club, Christian Club, Drama Club. We had clubs like the Rancho Cotati California Scholarship Federation, Black Student Union, Girls League, and so much more. We then had a Spirit Week. Monday was Twin Day, so you dress as the same as your friends. Tuesday was Pajama Day, where you could wear any cozy wear or pajamas, of course. Wednesday was Black and White Day, so you only wear black and or white. So it was trying to make everyone wear the same clothes. And then we had White Lie Day, where you get a white shirt and you write a lie on it wearing in Sharpie. So somewhere like I hate Frank Ocean, where they liked Frank Ocean, or like I'm tall when they tend to be shorter. And then we had Friday, which was class colors. So freshmen wore green, sophomores wore pink, juniors wore blue, and seniors wear red. That Spirit Week led up to our back to school rally. We had a lot of new things. This year we decided to add a raffle. So every day we would pass out these raffle tickets, and then if you dressed up for that Spirit Day, and then during the rally we did a raffle drawing. So people could win like ASB cards, free popsicles. We had a GameStop gift card, and we had like a free bowling gift card. So that was a really big hit, and so we'll be doing that next year. Next rally, of course. And then we also had a balloon relay race where 2 people per grade level would run to a chair and then pop a balloon and then tag the next person in their grade to then pop the balloon. The seniors ended up winning, so that was good. We had cheer, color guard, band, choir, and dance club performing. Our theme was retro video games versus new video games. So our freshmen were Angry Birds, our sophomores were Pac-Man, our juniors were Minecraft, and our seniors were Mario. We have Athlete of the Week. So our first week of Athlete of the Week was Roxana Corona. She plays volleyball, and the coaches said that she's a natural-born leader on and off the court and is one of our team captains. Roxana's skills and consistency are critical in our defensive strategy and schemes. She allows our transition to offense to be more effective. And then our next week's was Riot Grigori. He accounted for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in the game, and his coach said that he displayed strong leadership and skills throughout the contest. So we had our first football game against Ukiah. We had an amazing turnout, They said it was our best student section so far. The coach actually said that we needed to be less loud because they couldn't figure out what plays they were running. So we had some criticism, but overall it was an amazing turnout. We ended up winning 33-26. And then we have girls volleyball. They have had 10+1 going on right now games so far this year. Right now they're at 6 wins and 3 losses. They're only in preseason, and season doesn't start for another 2 weeks, but they are ready to go. Then we have flag football. It is our 3rd year of having this as a sport, and our 1st year with actual playoffs. So far we have 3 wins and 1 loss. We also have Talent of the Week. So our 2 Talent of the Weeks were Isabella Vera and Pedro Gutierrez. Pedro's talent is specializing in mechanical engineering for the Rancho Cotati Robotics Club. He's the mechanical leader of the mechanical sub-team. And Isabella's talent is her amazing cheer skills. She's a flyer for the Rancho Cotati cheer team and does an amazing job at leading the team. We also had senior parking spots. We had over 2 rows filled of people painting their senior parking spots. We did a competition, and our winners were Eliana, who got 1st place. She's the Mickey and Minnie Mouse one. She won a full refund back of her cost. I think it was like $40. And then we had our 2nd place, which was Jazzy. She is the Japanese Flower Garden, and she got about $15 back. We also had Senior Sunrise, which is all senior classes invited to go to a cute little senior sunrise at 6 a.m. at the football field to take many pictures, and there was hot chocolate, donuts, and then we did our class signing of our senior stage. So that was really fun. For our academics, we were just getting started, so we're still getting to the groove of everything. All academic classes, students, and teachers are working hard to make this year amazing. I also want to give a huge thank you to the counselors for all their hard work they did. They finished over 580 schedule changes, with also having many, many emails and drop-in appointments. So we cherish everything they do for us. Lastly, I have the student voices. I went around to a couple of students on campus and asked what their perspectives were about our students, both our campus, both positives and improvements. One student expressed how they found it was hard, that they didn't know whether there was an A day or a B day, so they didn't like that kind of schedule. However, another student felt the opposite. They said that they liked the schedule because of their AP Stats class, that they weren't taking it every day, and it didn't feel like they had to stress about it all the time, especially with it being AP Stats. One student was saying how they were finding that the vaping in the bathroom was being very hard to deal with. It stopped them from using stalls because either someone was using it wrong or people were in front of the stalls so they couldn't get to the bathroom. They thought that when the kids would get in trouble, they would just get talking to and they would go back to it the next day. They think that the problem isn't really being fixed. And then lastly, someone else told me that they felt a sense of belonging at Rancho. They felt that their community was amazing, and no matter where they were on campus or who they were talking to, they felt connected. So thank you, and any questions?
Any questions? Nope. Thank you very much. Trustee reports on activities. Trustee Johnson.
No report.
Trustee Brown.
Me. Thanks. So Eric and I were at the facilities meeting. I was remote and he was in person, but we're going to hear later on for the presentation of that. But what I find amazing is patience, how long it takes for these projects to happen. You know, you pass a bond, you expect immediate results, and there's a lot that goes into it. So by the time the planning and the state approval and the funding and the project things and a short window of construction. So we're gonna hear more about that later tonight. And so I said, just be patient, because I don't think I'll be here for the end of it by the time they do all the spending of all these projects in another 20 years, but it's the beginning and it's exciting.
Trustee Wing. Yes, I was at the facility meeting, and I'm waiting for Trustee Wing's Political Action Committee to get us some funding so we can fix all of the campuses. Right.
I forgot forgot, I do have a report.
Mhm.
The Sonoma County Office of Education has, is starting a group for board members for all of Sonoma County. So I wasn't able to go to the first meeting because it was the same night as our board meeting, but the next meeting is on Monday, so I will be attending it there. Their initial plan is that it's going to be kind of, this group's gonna get together and kind of decide what they wanna do. And so I am going to push very hard for some sort of legislation action. And then if not, then my little duo over here and I are just gonna start one ourselves.
Yes.
But we, that is something, and so I will go to that and then report back each month. They wanna do it monthly, maybe quarterly, we'll see. But I will report back what happens and what we do.
That's great. Thank you. Superintendent's report.
Hi, everyone. Kind of a short report tonight. It's just been a busy season of back-to-school nights, very exciting. You know, we're almost a month in to the school year. We have been meeting with the safety committee to work on our Great Shakeout happening October 16th, don't forget. Just being present on the campuses, I think that's been kind of the order of the day. We are ramping up to start negotiations, and very excited about that and being back in the room with our labor partners. But it's been a very busy month, and we'll look forward to the next few weeks, see what they hold. So thank you.
Okay, Roanoke Park Cotati Educators Association report, Lisa Bauman.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Yes, it has been a super busy month. I think we are all ready to do some face plants and just call it a night, a week. I don't know, and it's only Tuesday. But we've been all very busy, and again, I'm very appreciative of the partnership that I have with so many of the people up here with you, because I don't know if we could survive without each other. So thank you. I want to say that to all of the district staff up on the dais there. Let's see. So starting back in, a couple weeks ago, I attended a local workshop on organizing and bargaining with all of my bargaining team and Grace, my vice president. And that was put on by our local CTA office and was attended by different chapters in Sonoma County. And it was really great to have that collaboration and to just kind of be like getting geared up for both bargaining and also like getting our members more engaged. And that's something that we're really working on this year. Several of our members went to another conference this past weekend down in Burlingame. It's our Region 1, which is basically Northern California. And they do lots of different workshops from, everything to, how to do a budget and how to, support members if they get called in, to have a meeting with an administrator and things like that. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing back from some of those people, like what their big takeaways are and what we can do to really support our members. Several of us were included in the interviews for the new SPED director, and that was really a great process. It felt very transparent, and I think everyone felt included, and it was just really a great experience. And it's not the first time that we've been invited, but it's the most recent one, and it was really positive. Since SSU was here, I thought I would mention, I can't remember if I even mentioned this last week, but my AP Environmental class is the first class to have this dual enrollment partnership with SSU, and all 19 of my kids are registered and on their way to getting college credit, and I'm super excited for them, and they're just a great group of kids, and I'm starting to schedule our field trips, and so we're all really excited about that. We did have back to school night just last week, and I know that they're happening all over the district. And so it's like, and some folks, you know, had them like the second week of school, and it's just crazy. I feel like we are already, we're just sprinting out of the gate already. Our turnout wasn't great at Rancho. I spoke with Heather and I sent out a survey. So we've gotten some really good feedback. We've also, you know, we've got the numbers, but we've also got some ideas of like maybe some ways to rethink back to school night at the high school level, at the secondary level, because it's just when only, you know, 10% of your families show up. It's a long day. So, so we've had, you know, some things that we've been working on. I've been working on with district management, and I think the new big thing that is concerning a lot of our members is this new mandated reading test called Multitudes. And it's a new universal screening tool to help identify learning difficulties like dyslexia. But it's for our kindergartners through second graders. So those are our littlest ones. And so that also happens to be where our biggest behaviors are. And these are one-on-one tests that the teachers have to do with each student. And like in the best case scenario, it would be about 5 hours of testing. And so we're working with Maite and Jamal to come up with some ways that we can, you know, help teachers administer this and give them time. And I think the big concern for them is that, you know, at those grade levels, their students aren't independent enough to really say, okay, while I'm sitting and, you know, working with so-and-so, you guys do this. And so it's causing, you know, a lot of anxiety and feeling of being overwhelmed, but we're working on it. So I look forward to, you know, trying to find ways to work on the logistics, but also to lessen that additional workload, because like one thing got added, but nothing got taken away. And so, and Maite and I have also been talking about the need to really look at like all these assessments that we do in those early grades and what ones we want to keep next year and what ones that maybe aren't as beneficial. So happy that we're having that discussion now. We have our first rep council meeting tomorrow, and I'm super excited because we have a lot of new faces on our rep council. And I'm sure the people who have been doing it forever are really excited too that they get a little bit of a break. And then next week we have both IBB and LAMP, both of them. And we are really looking forward to our continued partnership and collaboration with the district while we bargain. And I think our two priorities, well, I know our two priorities this year are going to be safety and salaries. And so I look forward to troubleshooting that with everybody. And that's all I've got. Do you have any questions for me?
No?
Question. So with the extra testing, the state's not providing any, so you can't get a sub, they won't pay for a sub or anything for that?
I know. They just love to ask us to do more things without providing the support to do it. So it is, yeah, it's challenging. So thanks for asking. Anything else?
Thank you for your report.
Okay.
Next up, receipt of official correspondence.
Yes. We got during the summer, we received our letter, our WASC report letter for El Camino, and they were given 6-year with a 3-year mid report. So that's very exciting. It's the best they can do. So we're excited about that. We also received our letter from SCO that our LCAP was approved. So we are good to go.
Great. All right, next up, our consent agenda. Any questions, comments? Then may I have a motion to approve item 8A through 8X?
I'll make a motion.
May I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4 with 1 absence.
I'm okay.
In the consent agenda, you didn't use the whole alphabet.
Right.
Only 25.
We could go a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, 9A, public hearing on sufficiency of instructional material. This will be a public hearing to solicit the recommendations and comments from the public regarding the sufficiency of instructional material. The floor is now open for public comment. Okay, no public comment, so we will close the public hearing at that point. And we'll look at 9B, Resolution 2026-4, determining sufficiency of instructional material. May I have a motion to approve 9B?
I move.
Roll call.
We need
You
a
need
second.
a second?
I'm sorry, and a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Now roll call.
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Wing,
Yes.
Trustee Martin.
Aye. Okay, 9C, approval of standards aligned instructional materials inventory.
Do you want to talk about that one, or do you want me to?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. And I don't think we have a picture of it on here, do we?
Nope, it's in their material.
Is it in there?
Nope.
Okay, you guys have it? Okay, so where this came from is, well, first of all, we have many documents in lots of places in the Educational Services Department of all of our curriculum. When we were doing the Williams compliance documents, we realized that we needed to come to the board with something with all of our curriculum, because we needed to have all of our board minutes with all of our curriculum. So that's kind of where this came from. This is going to make our Williams compliance for next year a lot easier for all of us, because we can just bring this up, and we're going to make this a living document so that next year we can bring it back. And if anything has been updated, if we come up with some new curriculum that we've adopted, we can update it year to year. So in the Williams compliance, we go through the ELA, ELD, math, social studies, and science for the different grade bands. So in this document, I have found the curriculum that has been adopted for all of them, and then the years that they were adopted. Does anybody have any questions on it, or is there anything, Dr. Fields, that you wanted to add regarding this document?
Nope, you did a great job.
Okay. Any questions?
I like
Questions?
how, we have some new adopted and, we have 2020 for the science, for the stuff that's always changing, right? The math and the science, but I see that like the social studies it kind of falls behind. Why is that?
So if you look at the years of the adoption, you can kind of see that we are slowly updating our curriculum. So the math kind of had an adoption, and then our science is the most current one. Our social studies is going to be our next one. So we just need to get to a place where we can go through our social studies adoption. What's kind of keeping it back a little bit is California is currently coming up with a new list of social studies for K-8 that's going to come out in 2029. So for K-8, with the 2029 list, it would be kind of silly to start an adoption now when there's going to be new curriculum coming in 2029. So we talked to all of our social studies teachers. We let them know about this 2029 date for California, and letting them know that all of the textbook companies obviously are working on this new curriculum to show California, like, look, this is great curriculum. We want to be part of the approved list. So we're going to hold off. And then when that list does come out, then we can start looking at that material.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question about like the science for 9th through 12th for chemistry, physics, and environmental science. It's department generated instructional materials. So we spend a lot of time, like when we do the math adoption or the ELD adoption, of which ones are the best and do they meet all of our criteria. So how do we know when the departments are doing it themselves that they're meeting the criteria that the board and the district want them to meet? Like, who oversees that?
We have a curriculum committee that helps with that. So if there's a new adoption or a new set of curriculum that they want to start to use, they come to the curriculum committee. It's also part of the process for developing new courses.
Okay.
And we look at for a new course, they put it through to UCOP, which includes all the materials that they'll use in that, and then the curriculum committee reviews that.
Okay. So why doesn't the board have to, why do I have to approve the other things, but I don't have to approve that?
Because you'd have to approve a different set. You'd have to approve a different set for each course and every class. And so we do that as a committee instead.
Okay. So all the different
think-
teachers in these departments are coming to you guys to show you what they're using?
When there's new stuff.
I think also, I don't know if this is part of it, one of the reasons that there's specifics of adoption for K-5 and 6-8 is the law in California is that K-8 has to have a very specific adoption requirement, but that doesn't apply for 9-12. So like the list that I mentioned about social studies only applies to K-8.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's why the high school is more of an internal audit, essentially.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. So may I have a motion to approve 9C, approval of standards aligned instructional materials inventory?
I move.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries with 4 with 1 absence. 9D, approval of short-term independent study master agreement.
We edited the short-term study to reflect the new law. It used to be 3 to 14 days, and now it's 3 to 15 days. And then we took out some of the language that was referring to COVID. Some of the previous contract had some references to COVID and those types of things, and we took that.
Okay, any questions?
So is it when they're gonna be gone from 3 to 15 days, or is it 15 days maximum in 1 year?
3 to 15 days for one contract.
Any other questions? May I have a motion to approve 9D, approval of short-term independent study master agreement?
I move.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4 with 1 absence. 9E, approval of Power School enrollment quote.
Yes, so enrollment is something that we've been working on for the last couple of years to really refine the process. And our Director of Student Services, Matt Marshall, has been leading an effort to find a better system. It's confusing and time-consuming as it currently stands. And we wanted to, and there's wait lists, and then people are calling each other to negotiate. Do you have space? Well, one moves out, one other can move in. So it has not been a very streamlined process. So Power School is our database system, for our student database system, where we keep all our student data. And so Power School has an enrollment process, which will allow us to really streamline the process. So you're gonna look online, you're gonna see what your home school is, and then you're gonna put in your top 3 choices. You will then either be admitted, there'll be a period of time where that admissions takes place, and then if it's full, you'll get a wait list, and you will know where you are on that wait list because it will be automatically generated. So that will really kind of refine the process, eliminate the mystery of like where you are, where am I on that wait list? The other thing that it does for us, it is a little bit of a high price tag this year because we're transferring, but it will allow us to eliminate 2 other software systems we've been using. So the price tag, John always says, that's not saving money, Maite. I'm like, but it's replacing it. So $30,000 is gonna come off from the other 2 we're playing. So this is an additional cost of $9,000. So we are spending a little more money, but we are able to eliminate $30,000 in fees for other systems that we were
Totally,
using.
we're saving money. This is
Pardon
great.
me?
We're totally saving money.
I
This is
think so
great.
too. I think so too, Trustee Wing. I really do too. So
When do those 2 items, other software?
I can't remember the names of them. Maybe Matt can tell us.
When do they fall off?
They will fall off at the end of this year, the end of the school year.
So we'll double pay for a little while.
Yes.
Well, there goes your savings.
So there'll be 1 year of additional cost of
Yeah.
roughly $40,000.
Yes. But
And where's that
next year, we're
funding
gonna start saving.
coming from?
One is 5 maps, so when parents right now, when they're enrolling, they have to get out of the enrollment software and then click on Find My School, and it's a program called 5 Maps, and they type in their address, and it will show them what is their school of residence in elementary, middle, and high school, where with this new program, it uses Google Analytics, and it's built into the program, so we won't need 5 maps anymore. And then I'd have to ask Rob in IT. There was some data analytical tool that we also won't need as a result of switching. And just a quick heads up, our current program is called Enrollment Express, and it's really made for a really small school district with like 1 to 3 schools, and it's a completely manual process and takes vast time behind the scenes. This new program automates a lot of it. So it is a little bit more expensive, but we'll be saving office managers, principals, district office, thousands of hours of behind-the-scenes work every enrollment period.
So do we need to start this on October 31st of this year if it's not going to be used? Like, could we start it like March of next year?
I'm not sure that I understand the question.
Well, if it's for enrollment, and most of the enrollment happens like towards the end of the year and over the summer, do we need to start the contract on October 31st? Like, why do we start paying for it now? Why wouldn't we wait until later to start paying for it?
There's an onboarding period. The enrollment window is going to open. We were
Oh,
discussing
that's
it
right. It
currently.
opens in November, huh?
We're going to open it in December. Since it's automated, we don't have to pull it so far forward anymore because a lot of our families, 45%, enrolled after the enrollment window because we moved it pretty far forward. But now we can kind of push it back out where the mainstream, are ready to enroll. But there is a lot of legwork our team has to do to input, like what is the capacity of every school at every grade level and integrating it. And so we're gonna need a couple months to onboard all of that to get ready for the December launch of the new enrollment window.
And then, Maite, you were saying I could go on and say, like, this is my first choice and this is my second choice. So are they going to be able to do that with the middle schools? Like, will they be able to say this school is my first choice, but I live way over here?
Yes, so one of the things this program will do is we'll be able to put in our 10 priorities. Like if you live in the attendance zone, you're a very high priority. If you have a sibling, you're a high priority, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, we have to manually go through that. Okay, what is this? And then we have to trade back and forth to see if we have room. This system will automate all of that. And so what it'll do is, Michelle, it'll say, okay, well, TMS is your first choice, but it's full. You're 4th on the wait list, but I can get you into LJ tomorrow if you hit accept. And you hit accept, and then you're in. And you also don't lose your wait list at the other school if you choose to keep it open. And that's all automated.
Okay, so all of our same procedures and stuff to get into all the different schools will still occur.
Yes.
It's just this will be a little bit more easy for people to see.
Yeah,
So if I say I want to go into this, if I say I want to go to LJ, and I live in L section, you don't automatically get into LJ. It says, hold on, there might not be room for you.
So if you live in the LJ attendance zone, that will be the highest priority for you to get in.
Okay.
So,
Leif, you had a question.
2 questions. One, I haven't heard the answer where the additional funding is coming from for this year. We had a budget, and this is $38,000 more money. So who's got the checkbook? So, I mean, it's an additional cost, so, yeah, so just, how are we doing that?
Well, the money always is gonna come from the general fund, which is where all this money comes from.
Right.
Yeah.
So every time you take money from the general fund,
We're increasing the deficit.
you're increasing the deficit, correct?
But if it's true, what everyone's saying, which I have yet to see, that it's being replaced by something else that we haven't paid for yet, then it will be actual.
So we have a
Will be-
1-year deficit, and then next year it drops down
No,
to
I'm
10,000?
not sure that we paid for the other thing yet, so. I'm
Okay.
not sure that we've paid for the other. I'll get back to you on that, because
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So worst case scenario is $39,000 more than or $40,000 more than we were expecting. Best case scenario is we haven't paid for the other
Correct.
thing, so it's 9,000 more.
Yes.
And then, you know, software is a lucrative business for people. So can anybody access, can all parents access this? Or is this tool, if I'm understanding it right, I can go in and do that.
So as far as accessibility for maybe somebody who speaks another language, or is that what you're?
Well, we've got, how many students do we have in this district? Like 6,400?
Mm-hmm.
And they're billing us for 6,800. Why?
It's a great question.
We can get that to come down.
I mean, that's an extra 400, or
It is.
roughly
Matt, can you
about
check in on
7
that?
or 8%
I
of
will
the
definitely
cost.
check in on that.
Thank you.
Officially,
And I don't
we
know if they
haven't
have
paid this
more
bill yet
for
either.
non-parents that are non-students that are coming into this district, or are they allowing, I think, a certain percentage for
That's a good question.
other users to do that?
Thanks for catching that.
Okay.
How many people do we have enrolled that don't actually come? Like, you know, like the kindergarten parents that enroll their kids everywhere and then make a decision, or the high school students.
Yeah,
that-
we're still ironing all that out. I mean, you know, Seabeds is in October, and that's kind of the do or die date, which is when we have to have all that kind of stuff
Mhm.
figured out. So I can't give you an answer yet.
Okay. 'Cause I would
But
think like-
we're looking at that every day.
Like kindergarten and probably freshman year of high school would be the ones where I could see a lot of parents would just
I
enroll
think it's all
multiple
over the
places
district.
and then
Don't we,
decide later. So that's why you also might need the 6,800, is at some point enrollment may look, you may
Might
have a
been
bunch
what
of
we
people in there
said
that don't go.
that enrollment was at some point, and it doesn't look like that now.
so to ask another question on that, I'm assuming that the enrollment report that's in here is accurate and there isn't gaps for non-people that showed up.
It's as accurate as it can be as of today. I mean, again, you know,
But aren't we counting, saying I have this many students?
This isn't an attendance report, that's an enrollment report.
no,
Right.
That's
no,
an
this
enro-
is enrollment.
Those are kids that are here, right?
No, those are
These
kids that
are
are enrolled in the school.
Kids that are enrolled.
But aren't we, to verify this, if I were doing a numbers report, I would want to know that each school, I mean, I'm going to borrow this for a second, there, but Evergreen, 615. Do they not know that they have 615 students and it's only 550? You should- I mean, you'd be able to go into each classroom and say, I've got 20 students, I've got 25, I've got 30, and it comes close to that. I would hope that these numbers are not that far off.
Well, yes, and they are doing, they've done a 10-day count, right? They take attendance every day, and they've been reporting their 10-day count. And those are the numbers that we're sorting out right now, because some people haven't shown up. So we have to call, and are you coming? Where are you? Some people are sick. Some people started later. So now that we're after Labor Day, we have a more solid idea of who's here and who's not, because some people do take longer vacations, or if there are other reasons that they haven't shown up. And then some have, as to Trustee Wing's point, have enrolled in a couple of different schools. So we have them down in our enrollment numbers, but they aren't necessarily showing up. So that's what we're rectifying now.
So, I'm gonna dwell on this a little bit. So, it says 6,400 students and we're up 75, which is great. But if it's 75 the other way, it's not great. The 75 times average student cost or revenue of $16,000 to $18,000 is a lot of money that we don't have.
And it's 6,400 versus what I projected at the budget, which is more than that. So it's
Right.
already a problem if this number is correct.
Right.
And that's why we've been saying from day one that this is as accurate as it can be for right
No,
now.
I realize that.
Okay, so let's not,
I'm just trying to.
and we're comparing this number, these numbers are being compared to last May.
Right.
So, and that's the only comparison that we have to compare our current enrollment against at this moment. Next month will be a little more clear, and the month after that will be as clear as it can be.
Some indication, as long as people aren't moving, if you take, for example, I'm gonna take second grade, or first grade last year ended at 380 students, assuming that those students haven't moved out of the district. So second grade, right now, we have 378, a difference of 2. So that's how I kind of look at this.
Yeah,
From
that's a good way to
year
look
to
at it.
year, are there big swings there? You don't know about KK and kinder because those could be first-time students. And then I also sent an email going, how many students are entering Tech High as freshmen that weren't here as 8th graders are coming from outside? So
I think one of the reasons that this enrollment software is important to us is that we were delayed in getting to people, and they were making choices to perhaps go other places. So this software will help us get a better picture of actually who's coming, because they will have to accept, and we won't have those wait lists that potentially get mixed up. And I think that this will help us with the accuracy a little better. It's still a challenge, but hopefully with this enrollment software, we will have a more accurate picture of what we've got coming to us.
I'm gonna keep going, sorry.
Keep going.
Keep going. So out of 6,300 parents, how many of them are logging on and using it? So if I hear that we're only getting 10% showing up for Rancho Cotati back to school, you can't tell me that 6,300 parents, families, are gonna be using this software.
Yeah, they have to. That's what it's not.
But what I'm saying is,
Process, it's just a new program.
I know it's a new program, but
That's how they enroll, and we offer support at all school sites and the district office for
so that
people.
they'll know how to use the tool?
Yes.
Okay,
So if a parent comes in and says, I don't know how to use this,
right.
we have support at the school sites or at the district office to be able to support families. Because many families, you're right, don't have,
Right.
and maybe not have a computer, maybe can't get it done on the phone because
Right.
it's requiring too many steps or too many documents. So we have opportunities to support those families.
Okay, I know my tech abilities aren't the best in the world. I have enough to do what I need to do.
No, it
But
can,
when I get thrown a new program, I log
can
on
be
and do this
frustrating.
and that, and
Yeah.
where my kids just whip right through it, and I'm going, wait, slow down, you know?
it can be frustrating for a family, and we want to remove those
So
barriers.
I just want to make sure that the tool is a good investment. I'm hearing it's a good investment. I'm concerned where the money's coming from and the actual numbers.
Absolutely, that's the responsibility of the board to
No,
make
I
sure that
realize
we're
that.
making
And
good
then
decisions, so.
this is, the number of students is our revenue, so,
Yes,
anyway, enough said.
thank you.
That's not our revenue.
What?
That's not our revenue. We'll talk later. This number could
It's
say
an indication
8,000,
of
and
our
that's not
revenue,
our
though.
revenue. But yeah.
If the numbers are down, we're in trouble.
Will this also replace like the paper form that we used to have to fill out if you wanted to move your student from this school to that school? They could do it this way instead?
Unless they're coming out of the district, right? They still, is that correct, Matt?
Yeah, if they're from outside the district, they have to fill out an inter-district transfer, and that has to go through student services. And then we check with the site to determine if there's capacity for those students and then allow them to register based on that.
But this will get rid of the intra-district forms.
Yeah, it would make it much more streamlined for families to choose their school.
Awesome.
Any other questions on that?
Okay, thank you.
Right, may I have a motion to approve 9E, approval of Power Schools enrollment quote?
I move.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4 with 1 absence. 10A, approval of Director of Special Education job description revision.
Okay,
trustees, tonight we ask for your approval on the job description for the Director of Educational Service or Special Education. And we realized that when we were posting for the job position, it hadn't been updated for many, many years. So our Assistant Superintendent, our Director of Special Education, worked to update the job description to reflect what work currently takes place. And so we ask for your approval of this new job description.
Any questions? May I have an,
Just clear that Kristen saw the new one first before she said yes, right? Okay, just checking. Surprise, just kidding.
okay, may I have a motion to approve 10A, approval of Director of Special Education job description revision?
I'll make a motion to approve 10A.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4 with 1 absence. 10B, approval of Human Resource Analyst job description.
Great. Obviously, as you know, we have a new Senior Executive Director of Human Resources, and coming into this role, it's an opportunity for her to look at the department and see if she wants to make any changes. And really, we ask for your approval just on this job description, really to give us some flexibility if our new Senior Executive Director wants to look at the department and maybe move some things around. We don't necessarily anticipate that happening right away. And the other part of this is that this will not move forward until we bring a salary schedule for your approval. So at this time, it's for you to allow us to just have a little bit more flexibility in the department. And we ask for your approval just of the job descriptions. But should we move forward with wanting to actually change a position or hire for this position, we would need to bring you a salary schedule that you would need to approve before we move forward with any hiring. So this is just to have a little bit in our back pocket in case we want to have a little flexibility.
Okay, any questions? May I have a motion to approve 10B, approval of Human Resource Analyst job description?
I move.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4 with 1 absence.
This is Dr. Carla Magno's last board meeting with us, and I just want to say thank you to her for everything that she's done. She really had to hit the ground running in the HR department, and we have kept her very, very busy. When we caught her today at 5 o'clock eating Skittles, and that was all she had eaten today. So, but really appreciate her time, and who knows, she may be back, but for now, thank you for everything. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Did you write her up for poor choice of diet? Get in trouble? Eating dessert and candy? I know. Thank you.
Okay, next up is our architect's presentation.
We have Kevin Chapin here from QKA. He'll review two programming plans for the proposed projects at Monte Vista and Margaret Hahn and also discuss the next steps in developing the implementation plan for the bond, future bond spending plan or spending plan of the bond.
So thank you, and happy to be working with the district again, and happy to be working on the bond and excited to get some of these projects moving. We do have 4 items tonight, and I'm here to talk about 3 of them. So we have met a few times now with the district, and looking at some of the biggest needs of the district, we quickly identified the need to add the TK classrooms, the transitional classrooms, at a couple different sites. And so that kind of rose to the top because those classrooms are kind of specialized, and they need to be on different sites. And the 2 sites that kind of first came up were Margaret Hahn and Monte Vista as the 2 sites that could handle all the additional work. And I'll go in and talk about those projects here in a minute. But then we started saying, well, where else are we going to spend the bond money on? And so really, we needed to kind of slow down, take a step back, and really look at what are the highest needs beyond the 2 TK projects we've already identified, and really look at what projects at what sites and when. And so this takes a whole kind of planning Because when you pass your bond, you don't get all the money at one time. If everyone remembers, we have to sell them off in chunks, so we get half cash flow. And so figuring out what projects we can afford and when the district will have that cash in hand to move forward with those projects. So we're going to be working, proposing to work with the district over the next several months to come up with that list of projects of what we're going to be moving forward with on what site and when. And so we are hoping to be able to come back to you at some point this fall and give a presentation of what we came up with for implementation plan for the bond. So we have the bond dollars when we think we might be getting money back in from the state for the reimbursable projects that have already been submitted. So, and try to figure out what projects we win over the next, 6 to 7 years, because that's typically how long one of these bond campaigns last. Let me open up the presentation on the 2 campuses. Spot here on Monte Vista. So on Monte Vista, we have our existing kindergarten that's kind of down here on the southwest corner of the site. So the front of the school's right here with the admin and then the existing 3 kindergarten classrooms. We're proposing to put another 8 classrooms on that side down here at the transitional kindergarten, using the buildings to kind of define the edge of the site, so we reduce the amount of fencing that we need and allow the buildings to be the fence. And so we fence between buildings. That was one of our approaches. So we use less fencing on sites, but make the site secure. We chose this site and chose this particular part of the site because it's adjacent to the other kinder classrooms, so they can have the same kind of facilities. And what it also allows us to do is build these buildings without moving out anyone at that time. So it cuts down on us having to spend, a couple $100,000 to a couple $1 million on bringing in portable classrooms for a year or 2 years to house all these students. So our kind of plan is to build these 8 classrooms here on their existing playgrounds, and then when that's done, we can remove the wings of portables there and develop a true transitional kindergarten play space for those kids. So we really cut down on that need for interim housing. So trying to make that bond dollar go a little bit further on that one.
So I have a question just about that layout. So the blue is the new buildings.
Blue is the new building,
And
so
then the green is like a new playground?
this is the new playground, so that's where existing classrooms are, those
Right.
portable style classrooms.
So you're gonna take those out? They'll
We're
just
gonna
be
take
gone.
those out at the end of the project.
Okay. But the portables across from the green buildings will stay?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're also gonna be modernizing those existing kindergarten classrooms, so when we're all done with the project, all the classrooms will be basically at the same level. So, we don't have 8 new classrooms and then 3 teachers are in classrooms that haven't been modernized. So we wanna make sure that they're all up to the same level.
And then
Okay.
go ahead. I was gonna say the TK classroom building, will it have bathrooms and stuff in it?
Correct. That's one of the reasons why the TK came up so much, because the requirements that the state requires, they have to be larger classrooms. They can't be our standard 960s. They have to be a little bit bigger. They have to have toilet rooms, storage rooms. They can have offices. So they have special requirements that regular classrooms or standard classrooms don't have. So yeah, these are a little larger classrooms that will have age-appropriate toilet rooms.
And then do we have, because this is a pretty big TK
Mhm.
building, if I start as a TKer at Monte Vista, is there enough room in K all the way up through 5th that I can stay at that school? Or is this going to be like a bubble class and now I'm not going to have enough room for you in kindergarten or 1st grade?
On the site capacity, it can handle the students.
Okay.
Now, if we overdo this one or make it, we don't think that's looking at our master plan numbers, that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
But
And
we
then-
always will double check all that stuff before we get too far.
If we're going down this path, at one point we had talked, like, do we put TKs at the individual schools or do we build a TK building? So I'm assuming we've decided we're gonna do TK at the schools?
I have this dream of this early childhood center, which is but the cost of that would take a huge, over half the bond. And we decided that although that would be ideal for many of our students, it is fiscally unrealistic at this point. We tried a number of different options to help get that, help with that funding, but none of them were able to, none of them came to fruition.
And do the demographic forecast support this level of TK? Are we expecting consistent enrollment for TK over the years?
Yeah, we did the enrollment projections when we did the master plan about a year and a half ago, and it showed it fairly level with a little bit increase, and that was, the increase was due to the TK population. But
So if I jump ahead and look, so right now, using John's enrollment report, Monte Vista and Han have this, basically the same number of TKers, but Han's TK building will be 6,000 square feet and Monte Vista's is 10,000 square feet. Why does Monte Vista get almost twice the amount of square footage?
because I believe it also has some SDC classrooms in it as well. So we also have to kind of replace some of the stuff that we're removing in those classrooms. Because we're also removing classrooms where we're not on Han.
Okay.
Because
We do say that you're
where the new playground's going, we're removing those classrooms, so we also have to replace those.
Right, but at Han it says your existing portables to be demolished as well, so.
Can I just say something real quick?
Oh, hi.
Hi. It's not just the TK. It's not just 8 TK classrooms. It's TK, kindergarten, SDC.
Yeah.
At that site. At Monte Vista.
Oh, okay, so that answers my question, because I know in those modulars, there's at least 6 classrooms that are being eliminated, right? For the playground area there?
Correct.
There's
So
8.
where are those classrooms going?
Those 8 rooms are being demolished at the end of the project, and we're adding 8 additional rooms. So it's a net zero essentially.
It's a
but
net zero.
we've identified a need for more TK kindergarten appropriate classrooms, so they're more specialized. So we're not really gaining anything. We're demolishing 8 and we're adding 8.
Yeah, because I don't see any new modulars going on out there. So those 8 classrooms, those were like 2nd grade, 3rd grade and stuff like that. So where are they going? Where are the...
There are TK and kindergarten classrooms sprinkled throughout the campus.
Yeah.
So we're going to localize them to that area and then move classrooms other places to other areas of the campus.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
thank
trying to
you.
bring them all together to kind of make a small little complex.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on Monte Vista?
And all this new building is like real buildings, not portables.
Correct.
Okay.
So we've looked at it. We could do like custom modular, which is the permanent stuff that's concrete floors and what's been done at a few other the campuses, Crane and a few other of the schools have used modular construction. So that's, slab on grade. It looks like a permanent building, but it comes at a little bit more cheaper price than doing a pure stick frame on site. So we're looking at those numbers as well. Yeah, but they're not portable replacement. They're not portables. Over, pull up on here. There we go. So over at Han, we're kind of doing the same thing. We're trying to create 5 new classrooms, and we're putting them again next to the existing kindergarten and modernizing the existing kindergarten to try to really create a early childhood complex on the campus. We're also modernizing an existing building at the very bottom down here, P6, which is a restroom. And so we have our new TK kinder complex here with the 5 new classrooms, the 2 existing that we're modernizing. And then on Han as well, we have a new admin building. The admin is a portable style building, so it is kind of nearing the end of its useful life, but we also have DSA certification problems with that building. So when we do projects and we get projects approved by DSA, we have to do what's called the closeout process and get it certified by the division of the state architect. That's to make sure. So they're making sure that everything that we did during construction complies to the documents, and any changes comply to code. And so we get sign-offs by all the architects, the engineers, the inspectors. That building is missing several of those items. And so that project was never closed with certification. The certification is really important because we can't do work on any building that hasn't been certified. And there runs liability issues to the board as well on projects that are not closed with certification. So on a building that's 30 years old with that construction type, it's going to be really hard to ever get it certified with the division of the state architect because it's already past its useful life and it has all these issues. So we are proposing to replace that. And if you go on HON, there's also several places where there's specialists and other admin that are in portables as well. They're on the other part of the campus. So we're proposing to move everyone together. So we're moving all those offices into one new admin with, with staff break rooms and everything as well. And really try to create a front door to that campus because that admin's a little harder. Even though it's at the front of the campus, it is a little bit tricky to find. Once again, we're trying to use the buildings as much as possible to create that boundary so we do less fencing, and this will also give us a chance to really kind of define and do some fencing and some entryway. So try to really point visitors to make sure that they're going into the office and checking in before they get onto the rest of the campus there. Unfortunately, on this project, we are going to have to bring in about 5 portables as interim housing. So we are proposing to do that as well. So it'll be about a 3-year process. The DSA may kind of streamlines it if we're doing a temporary, and that's what we would be proposing, unless there was future projects down the road, which we'll find with when we do the implementation. So we see these as a quick 3-year process, and all we have to do is promise that these portables are gone in 3 years. So that they're really just quick lease projects, portables that we bring in. Any questions on HON? So we have 3 portables out here right now. All 3 also have certification issues, and they're all past their lifetime. So we have the after school here, and we have one of these that's being kind of used mainly as storage, and one that's mainly being used all as specialists and admin space. And then these 5 down here would be just where we're bringing in the temporary portables.
So would we demolish the current portables
At the end
now?
of the project as well.
At the
Those
end.
would
So
all,
those people would stay in them for now, and then at
Yes.
the end we'd get rid of them.
yeah.
And then if I remember right, so where the current TK building is going in the bottom left corner before it makes its little doo-doo, is that a building that we're demolishing?
Yes, those are all kind of portable style.
That's what I thought.
Most of that campus, besides the NPR and the couple of the classroom wings and the kindergarten, are all portable style.
Okay.
So, all kind of serve their life, but they're well over 30 years old and kind of at the end of their useful service life.
And this would start when?
So can you, I don't know, I'll piggyback onto that. Can Josh and Kevin give us a window of projected start, assuming that is it DSA approves? For the,
yes.
Yeah, so they got to get approval from the state. So start and completion, you're not going to like these dates.
So yeah, if we get moving right away, we'd try to be as fast as we could. Realistically, it'd be probably mid to late summer by the time we got DSA approval on any one of these, because we have to get DSA, we have to get CGS. Optimistic.
Summer a year from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just making sure.
A
we're
year
on the
from
same
now.
page. Okay.
We're gonna try to start with the restrooms.
Yeah.
Over the summer.
Okay.
So there's, different things. We always try to hit that summer construction just so we can try to do all the demo, all the loud noise with all the big tractors when students aren't there. That's always our goal, is try to maximize this time on the campus when students aren't there. But then the project really takes pretty much a full year. So, we were looking at, if we start we're lucky and DSA runs smooth, we're also going through a code cycle, so there are a lot of people are putting their plans in before the code changes. So there could be a lot of projects in. So if we're lucky, we'll be able to start next summer. So we're looking probably completion, probably late July, early August 27 on the first major project. We could, like Josh was saying, we could do the modernization of the bathroom over the summer, so parts of those could be ready. The temporary campus would be ready for the start of the school year in 26. So there are certain stuff that would be ready. But the bulk of those projects it's a full year of design plus, and it's a full year of construction.
So students would be in it the 27-28 school year, or 28-29?
So we'd be trying to start construction before the 26-27 school year, and then be ready for the 27-28. That's the fast timeline, without any hangups.
That's if everything goes well.
And neither of these schools are needed for summer school or YMCA or Boys and Girls Club over the summer?
We just completed the YMCA building over at Monte Vista. So that
So
would
like
be-
the summer YMCA would still happen while you guys are doing your construction and stuff?
Yeah, the one over at Monte Vista is on the complete opposite side of the campus. And we'd probably be able to, at be able to fence off and bring in those portables and keep the students out of that area. They'd be kind of limited to more of the fields and some of the playground areas, but that asphalt area would probably be off limits.
Where do you, for both of the schools, like, where do you put your work trucks and vendor trucks and equipment and?
So that's
things?
a whole nother process that we do as we start going forward. We really work with the district and mainly with the sites themselves to come up with kind of a logistics plan, set up job trailers where contractors come in. We work with the contractors on delivery hours. You know, we make sure that they're not getting deliveries when drop off and pickup are happening, because that'd be an absolute nightmare. So there's a lot of planning that goes in besides just doing the plans and getting them approved by DSA. So we're constantly working with the district, and we're constantly working with the site to figure out what's going to be the least amount of impact to the campus.
Yeah, as a principal who has gone through this multiple times, the construction company is really communicative with the site leadership. Tell them the recess schedule. Please don't drive trucks through at this time. So we really work to make sure that those schedules don't collide. It's challenging, but they are responsive to making sure. They don't want the liability of driving across a playground with students on it either, so.
And then how do we, there's really strict rules right now for parents and volunteers for being on a school campus. What safety precautions and procedures do you guys have in place with your employees and the vendors and the contractors so that we know who's on campus and their background and?
Yep. So the district's contracts with all the contractors requires fingerprinting. So of all the supervisors, some districts make everyone that come on to sites have it. Some make just supervisors who are watching everyone have it. We work with the site to figure out fencing plans, because typically we try to, at the most, as much as we can, try to separate the students from the workers. So we always try to have fencing up as much as possible, and to the point where a lot of times we will require fingerprinting if they're on the other side of the fence. So
Historically, this building was built with this high school in full session here.
Yep.
Josh and his crew has done a great job in planning. You go out to Thomas Page. We rebuilt that school with kids at it. I mean, we built a new tech high school by moving the kids, but it's been done. It's challenging. You'd like to do it during the summer, but that's impossible. So it's just, I think we've got a good track record in the builders and the process. There's extra safety. If we could get all the parents, I mean, most of the contractors are really good.
Yeah.
Some of our parents driving to school aren't as good, but, because they're in a hurry. I think they realize where they're working. And, I think the safety stuff is, I remember touring this thing, you couldn't come in without a hard hat on.
Yeah.
You know, and then the vest and all the tools and stuff. So, I have confidence in Josh and you guys with the contractors as we hire them. And if they get out of line, those items are addressed immediately.
Yeah, and we're really fortunate here in Sonoma County. We have some really good contractors that have done a lot of schoolwork. You know, Wright, who did this, has been doing schools for 70 years.
Not their first rodeo.
Yeah, so they know how to
So-
work with people. They know how to talk and figure out all these logistics. And it's all just, it's really planning. And just getting the word out to parents on, you know, what stuff's going to be available, what's not, and just a lot of communication. That's the biggest thing with construction, is just communication. Any questions on either plan or the implementation?
John, just really quick, I don't want to do the math myself. How much total bond money are we expecting to get? And this is gonna take up
92 million.
50 million of it?
And then you also have potential OPSC funding too, but that's always
Right,
depending on
and
if they.
then potentially, you know, based on what
We'll get some
King's
state money.
Consulting said, another 20 on top of that, potentially, I don't know.
That can take several years to get, so you don't count on that until it comes in.
Yeah, not really, yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah, I'll believe that one when I see it.
Yes,
It's with my winning lottery ticket.
yeah. You don't know by now, you probably didn't win.
And just to remind everybody, when you guys did the master plan study, the total bill for everything we need, does everyone remember how much that was? Close to $1 billion, so, these, you know, our campuses, some of them are older, and these two schools are probably the ones that haven't been touched. I have my oldest son was at this school 45 years ago, so, and that same administrative building was there then, so all of the portables are gone and new portables are there, so.
I mean, the schools are in great shape, but the buildings only last so long.
Right.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to working on these.
11B, may have approval for the QKA proposal.
Go ahead, you move.
I move.
I'll second.
Okay.
So wait, I have a really quick question. We are just approving these two projects, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There are
there's a lot
the
of
two
stuff.
projects and then the, working with us on the implementation plan for the
For the
rest of the
remaining
project.
funds.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I knew there was more to it. Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4 with 1 absence. Okay, 12A, fiscal update and planning.
So I'm happy to answer any more questions about the enrollment report. I do have a small what? We just did that. I do have a small update on the solar project.
A comes first, then B.
The
happened to
Hail
the
Mary
bus?
is still in the air. There are some concessions that, you know, we're giving up, but, you know, I think if the goal is to get a project on our campuses, you know, if the end goal is to really get the projects up on our campuses, then I think the past may be caught. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And I thought I'd have some information for you by today, but I don't. But it's still in the air. That's what I'm gonna say for now.
Any ideas when it might be caught?
We put in so many hard deadlines that no one seems to want to follow. That I wish I could tell you, but we thought we'd know by now, right? Josh is agreeing. We're both like really frustrated, and now, and you know, waiting impatiently for an answer.
And isn't it isn't the state trying to make up for what the feds are cutting off?
Yeah, it's really, you know, I know I probably keep saying the same things, but there are really two parties that are outside of, you know, we want to do the project, obviously. It's two parties that are not infighting, but like really want to make or break this thing. And it's the financiers who have the money to do the project for us, and it's the contractor who want to build the project. And the financiers trying to push some of the liability on the contractor who doesn't want to take on all the liability. They just want to build the project, you know. I mean, that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm really simplifying what's happening behind closed doors, and I don't want to jinx it or anything, but you know, I think with some of the things, some of the ideas that we had to maybe keep this thing moving, and everyone's been gracious to keep the things that can keep moving, like sending sending some things to CGS and some other things, like, which take money, but, you know, they're in good faith keeping those things moving while they kind of figure it out. It's gonna be telling when we get some of that information back whether or not these can actually get done in time, but nonetheless, the past is still in the air, and that's kind of where we're at.
Thank you for your hard
Just-
work on this.
Just one comment. I started on my own personal solar in my house as a contractor. 2 years, and part of the problem is I can no longer buy the Tesla components. So a lot of these contractors, if they don't have the sole contract with Tesla, they can't get the materials and switches and, you know, stuff. So why would they take that liability if there's no guarantee that they can't get the components to finish the job? So,
Yeah,
you know, I'm finally getting the components, non-Tesla components, 2 years later to do, you know, to do a simple home solar project. So anyway, it's just, you know, I understand their lack of, you know, commitment if I can't get the materials. Labor's probably not the issue, it's the components and who gets them. So, anyway.
Well, thank you again for your hard work. I know it's been consuming, so thank you for sticking with it. Next up, 12B, approval of 2024-25 unaudited factual financial report.
Take a break after this or before this? For me? We got C, D, E. For me? No, keep going. Full speed ahead.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'll try to make this quick. I think I have some good news, but if you'll humor me and listen to some of the housekeeping around this report. What are the unaudited actuals? We've prepared the year-end financial statements as of June 30. A report of all activities in all district funds, identifying unspent funds or reserves that are carried forward into future years, and this information is used by our external auditors to prepare our official audit report. So, as always, if you remember, last June, as part of the 25-26 budget adoption process, we presented the 24-25 estimated actuals, which the comparisons will be made against in this report. So we've closed the books. We take all summer to do that, and by we, that's me and Molly, pretty much. Closing entries are prepared and posted. We've either received revenue that was not anticipated and or spent expenditure allocations or budgets that were used or not not completely used. So I think I have good news for you tonight. Not completely great news, but good news. Lisa's not here anymore, so she's missing it. But Jen's here to report. I'm gonna still lead up to the good news. So $83 million in unrestricted revenue, $104.5 million combined revenue, which is unrestricted and restricted revenue combined. You know, all these kind of details are in the report, but it's just a lot of numbers in there, obviously. The overwhelming majority of the revenue that's received is from the local control funding formula, $77.4 million. We spent $63.7 million in unrestricted and $110 million in the combined budget. This is what it looks graphically. About 86% of our budget was spent, unrestricted budget was spent on people. 76 of our total budget, unrestricted and restricted budget, was spent on people. And here's the good news, and it's hidden in here if you can't see it, but we were projecting to deficit spend $2.6 million in our unrestricted general fund, and we spent under $2 million. So it's about a $700,000 difference. I'm really happy with that. The majority of that is, the majority of the difference is from our local revenue, and most of that is from our interest. And if you would have told me that at the beginning of last year we were going to make $700,000 on our money that we have in our general fund, I would have said you were crazy. So that's the major difference in revenue. So if I just go down the line, you know, we missed our projection in our local control funding formula by $17,000, excuse me. So we were short. We projected a little high. Lottery and transportation revenue, $34,000. We projected too low, so we got 34,000 more. And like I said, the interest and a little bit of those other things was about 580,000. Again, down the line, certificated salaries, we over budgeted 187,000. All of these numbers, classified salaries 49,000, benefits 74,000, all a little over budgeted, but all of those numbers are like 0.5%. That's 0.5% that I was off in our projection. I mean, that's, you know, kind of a drop in the bucket and kind of a joke, right? I mean, really. So the big number here is, so I don't want to read all the numbers to you, but kind of the big number here and kind of what I was projecting, and the thing that was scaring me the most was what our contribution to special ed was going to be. And that was a big hit. $557,000 we had to contribute more than what I was expecting. And that was due to, a lot of it was kind of sub stuff, NPAs, that's non-public agencies, so we're paying agencies to pay for staff that we can't hire on our own and or extra staff that we need for behavioral reasons or whatever. Non-public school stuff, board and care costs, that kind of thing. $557,000 more than we were projecting. So, all in all, we deficit spent a little less than we said we were gonna. So that's my semi-okay news, and to my tape, we're saving money. Not quite, but anyway, we still deficit spent, which is a bummer. All right, so that leaves us with about 7% of reserve percentage in our unrestricted. The percent of reserve has to come from our unrestricted balance and our Fund 17 balance. So we have about 7% reserve. This is our activity and balances in our other funds. Cafeteria, which is our food service program, is killing it. You know, they serve the most students they ever have last year with very minimal staff, and that's not because we're not trying to hire people. It's because we can't. And they're killing it. And that's all there is to say about that, honestly. So, our fund balance, you know, was projected to be 9.4 million as a total general fund, ending fund balance. We actually ended with 13.2. 9.8 of that was restricted funds, which is on our restricted side of the budget, and you know, that's good or bad. We can only spend the restricted side of the budget, as you recall, on very specific things. You know, we maintain our 3% reserve in our unrestricted general fund without our Fund 17 help, and then we have a little bit of unassigned balance based on that. Ending fund balance is good, right? Fiscal solvency is based on a 3-year projection. Fund balance is our first line of defense to weather uncertain future state budget downfalls. And you know, I don't like being the bearer of bad news, but that's always on the horizon. Questions?
You are capable of saying the word good.
Yeah. Did I say good? I think I might have said okay. I'm just kidding.
So is your goal to be 0.25% off next year, not 0.5% off?
Well, it's 0.5%.
I know, 0.5%, so I'm looking at 0.25%.
Oh, all right.
I'm
yeah. I mean, that's a
raising
lofty
the bar
goal.
even higher.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll try to do better for you. But.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Here, you can have mine.
There goes the budget, John. We need a new microphone. Okay, so may I have an approval for 12B, approval of 2024-25 unaudited actual financial report?
I'll make a motion to approve.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4 with 1 absence. 12C, Resolution 2026-5, recognizing October 12th, 2025 through October 18th, 2025 as Week of the School Administrator.
Yes, we are seeking approval of the resolution for our hardworking principals and all our administrators to acknowledge the good work that they do. We acknowledge many of our staff in May. Principals and administrators have a week in October, and we're seeking approval of the resolution.
Any questions?
Oh, what will you be doing?
It's
Like
a
candy
secret.
bars? What is it? Flowers?
It's a secret.
Oh, it's a secret?
We can't tell them ahead of time what their Christmas present's going to
Oh,
be.
okay, sorry. It's a secret, okay.
I'll put it in the board notes.
Okay. No question.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve 12C?
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, roll call, yep, sorry.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown, Trustee Wing,
Yes.
Trustee Martin.
Aye. 12C, Resolution 2026-6, adopting the actual GAN, of the 2024-25 fiscal year and the projected GAN limit for the 2025-26 fiscal year.
So the GAN limit is the amount of money that the state appropriates to, is like the limit of appropriation, or I don't know what the other word for appropriation is, but to districts based on a formula, which is the report. And you can either exceed it or stay within it, and we are staying within it. And since we're staying within it, there's resolution that says so. If we were to have exceeded it, which we don't, there'd be a different resolution. It's really not a big deal either way, but that's what this is.
Any questions? May I have a motion to approve 12D?
I'll move.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Wing.
Yes.
Trustee Martin.
Aye. 12A, F. Sorry, I don't want to go backwards. Let's go forward. 12F, acceptance of gifts and donations to school and district.
Yes, thank you. So Rancho Cotati received a monetary donation from their boosters of $15,000. Thank you to the boosters. They do an amazing job. Their store, everything they do to support our sports, we really appreciate. John Reed, as many of you remember from some vandalism last year, and the community has really stepped up. They received a $250 school supplies from California Check Cashing. Steve Nelkin from Discovery Church, $3,000 monetary for supplies. Leslie Conklin from EB Community Managers, $300 in backpacks. And then our expanded learning ukulele program received $1,704.30 in ukuleles. For a total of $19,954.30, and we thank our community partners for all their support.
That's great. Yes, thank you for all who are supporting us. May I have a motion to approve 12F? May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4 with 1 absence. Any future business items, Trustee Johnson?
Yes, I'd like to invite Emily Gonzalez DeMont. She's from the Health Information Department to give us a presentation on the tobacco nicotine prevention program. We're trying to get a resolution in the city of Cotati and Rohnert Park about sales to minors, and she's got a lot of data on, what's going on in our community.
Can you get us her contact information?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Trustee Brown? Trustee Wing?
Just to piggyback on what Shirley said and what Olivia said is, it doesn't have to be at a board meeting, but can you just let the board know, like, what are the consequences for students on campuses with, vape pens or smoking? It's not a new problem. It's just they changed from smoking to vaping now, but what are the different consequences, and are they allowed to take them away, or what happens? And I just want to make sure if students need a place to go to the bathroom, they can go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we'll get that information for you. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I share that same concern and want to know that something's happening, because I agree. Students need to be able to use the restrooms without any hesitation. Okay, with that, we will close our session at 8. Oh, future business student board members? Trustee, okay, nope, okay. Then we'll close today's board meeting at 8:17.